Oh, yeah, you're stacked. You're ready to go. Welcome, everybody. 3, 2, 1. Oh, you're cracked. Did you hear that crack? What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Cole One's Conversations. Special episode, 100 subscribers episode. Thank you to all 100 subscribers. We are so amped and so happy to have you be a part of our day and for us to be a part of yours. My name is Harold Hoops, Harry Heaps, Harold the Wizard, Hollywood Hair. I go by many names, and I'm joined by the other part of this tandem, Brandon the Bod Petrilli. Trilly, how you doing today?
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. Really appreciate everybody out there. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a journey. I'm really trying to be consistent with it and putting out content. We really appreciate all the feedback, all the people reaching out saying how much they love the episodes, what they think we should be doing. We always love stuff and feedback because, we're just trying to have fun with it. We're glad that we are able to make you laugh and just have fun throughout the day, just like we want to also. So it's been a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
Really appreciate it. We're going to keep growing that $100 million deal, 100 million subscribers coming up next. Just baby steps right now. We'll get going.
I love how you said coming up next.
Yeah.
All right, dude. This is a no NBA final show. We're not talking the finals one bit.
What are you talking about?
You're right. What am I talking about? On to the next, dude. Bradley Beal is requesting a trade. Probably one of the best number 2, if not the best number 3 option in the league on any team. He's not obviously the guy that you can build around, but he's a guy that you want for who you're building around to be with. Obviously it completely makes sense why he wants out of DC. That team offers him nothing and offers his talent nothing. He's tried to ride it out. He's tried to be a real deal guy and staying with that franchise while they have done nothing but deliver dick, and in not a good way. Only bad dick. You know what I mean? It's not even like they're giving good dick. You know what I mean? Stuck it out with John Wall for both his goods and his bads. And now this revolving door of players in DC has not capitalized on anything in the East. So I get why he wants out. Rumors are, as you just said, Heat,
Heat heavy
Philadelphia
favorite. Yeah. Lakers,
Philadelphia, Lakes, maybe the Suns.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Where do you fit with those two, though? You already have a shooting guard and a 3.
But I love Beal, dog. He's always been just a solid dude. You know what I mean?
But my thing is, though, with Bradley Beal, right? Looking at it, he should have asked out 2 years ago. But he wanted the money.
Of course.
He's getting $251 million. This is the first year in that contract. He's got a no trade clause in it. And the way he just kind of, I respect wanting to win at the place that you've been at for a long time or drafted, but when it comes down to it in the NBA, you saw that team was going nowhere. And the money that he got was going to make that team go nowhere anyway.
Go nowhere, right?
So I just didn't get it, and I guess I do get it where he wanted that money. Now you're going to tell me 2 years later you're going on pushing in your mid-30s now. Now I want to go win a championship. I just don't like it. I don't like his whole aura of the past couple of years, honestly. What's really going to make you now want to win?
Right.
I just don't see it. I don't really want him on the Sixers team because who's better, him or James Harden at this point in their careers?
Bradley Beal.
Why do you say that? What has Bradley Beal done?
I think that Bradley
Did he drop
Beal,
40 points in a couple NBA playoff games? Has he?
No, but I think that Bradley Beal's a more consistent regular season player to where I don't like I'll say this.
Numbers wise?
Not to get in a tangent about the Sixers, but I think that Bradley Beal can take off a lot of weight off of a star like Embiid, as opposed to that Harden can during the regular season, and allow Embiid to have more energy to go off in the playoffs. He's a guy he's always there. And Harden is not a guy who's always there. He's not been a guy who's always been there since he got to Philly.
But Bradley Beal hasn't. Last year he only played 50 games. I mean, he's been banged up.
Well, I mean, listen, we have spats. Maybe it was COVID. You know what I mean? We don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know if we could say that on this show. We might not get the monetization button. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got to get up. We got to times it by 10, our subscribers here. So make sure you hit that subscriber button to get us there. But we got the views for it. We just need to get those subs.
That's
I
right.
don't know, man. I'm just not in on Bradley Beal like you are. Like,
Okay.
His main thing is that mid-range game that just isn't effective in today's NBA anymore. He's slow. He's only going to get slower. He's getting into his 30s now. He's been banged up the past couple years. It's just trending in the wrong direction. I just see James Harden 2.0 written all over him without the success and the MVPs that James Harden has had, without the averaging triple doubles that James Harden has had, without hitting big shots that James Harden has had in his career. Bradley Beal I just don't see him being that guy to get you over the top. I hear you that maybe he can at this point in his career give you more and take over a game more than James Harden will. I would agree with that because you see it. Harden can do it once or twice, maybe in every 3 weeks, and he's got to take a breather and get that oxygen for a bit. And Beal can probably do it a little bit more often, but I don't know, man. I just don't see this guy as a winner and a difference maker on a team. I see him as a 3 at best. I see him as a Tobias Harris type of player that you kind of like third option on a team. Yeah, Beal, okay, we're going to go dribble, penetrate, hit a shot. I don't see him as really a guy getting his own shot anymore in his career. He can do it a little bit, but just everything has been trending downward for him the past 2-3 years now. And I just don't see it.
Okay, so let me ask you a crazy question. I'm going to throw out a guy who I believe is going to be on the market, but I want to see this is me testing out what your stance really is on Beal. Right now, for the Sixers, either Klay Thompson or Bradley Beal available. Who are you taking as your third option?
As my
you
third
have Harden
option?
You have Embiid as your 1, Harden as your 2. Who's your third? Is it Klay Thompson or is it Bradley Beal? I know where I stand.
I like Beal because he's a little bit younger.
Okay, good.
In that sense over Klay, because Klay is getting up there now in this point where he's he's lost a step too.
Yes.
But if you're telling me Beal or I don't know. I'm just trying to go through some things in my head. Like, I'd rather have Fred VanVleet than Bradley Beal on this Sixers team. I think VanVleet is a much better fit than a guy that's going to just pack the paint for Embiid like Beal would, driving and shooting pull-up mid-range. Like, just the fit there just wouldn't work. Now, I can see the fit working for him in Miami. Would it work with him and Jimmy Butler? They're both kind of the same kind of players.
Yeah, they're dogs.
I don't know if Beal's a dog.
I think he's got the mindset of being a dog. I think that he gets fully around it. He's not a noise guy.
The last time he played 82 games, I get that in the NBA you don't do that anymore, but was 2019. Like, it's been
You're forgetting.
What?
The pandemic. What do you mean? You know what I mean? You gotta do it. You know how you go to the car shop anymore? They talk about
the
COVID
pandemic
numbers.
57, right? All right, and then the next season 60 games, then 40 games in 22, and then 50 games last year. Come on, he's barely playing half the games the last 3 years.
So what are you saying? He sucks?
I'm not saying he sucks. I'm just not saying he's $251 million.
No, well, that's
what he costs, and he's got a no trade clause. So how is he going to make it work?
So then, is the best team for him the Lakers? Is that the Lakers' only way of trying to keep LeBron for longer than what I said a couple shows ago? You know, I made the point he's going to play out one more year at the Lakers, then he's going east. He's going to the Knicks. You know, I said, mark that timestamp. This is what's going to give us the $100 million. Is that what the Lakers have to do to try to keep him there? Do they need a guy who could stay a little bit more healthier than AD, who can go catch you points?
Yeah, no, I think, and even if LeBron does leave, I think AD and Beal would be a pretty solid 1-2.
Right.
Way better than what Beal and Embiid would be, right? Because Embiid's not as dynamic of a roller, and he's more get the ball in my hand and just sit and hit shots for me, where Beal and AD can go and run with each other a little bit. So, I mean, if you get a guy like that to give LeBron the rest, then yeah, I think that's a good fit there.
The Lakers have been talking about going to get this guy, though, for the past
That's what I'm saying.
Basically, since
Everybody's been talking
2019.
about it for the past
Yeah.
3 years, and he's the one
Yeah.
that has chosen not to go anywhere.
That has held things up 100%. No, he's wanted to ride it out. But in that way, though, dude, he's been a lot like, why can't I remember? Rip City.
Rip
Who am I
City.
thinking of right now?
I don't know. What do you mean, Rip
Portland.
City? Oh, Damian Lillard.
He's a lot like Dame, where he's looking to ride it out, ride out that time, be loyal, stay true.
But Damian Lillard has made the playoffs and won playoffs.
I agree. I think the thing with Beal that he's realizing is that if he doesn't get out of DC, there will never be a Eastern or Western Conference championship in his career. There will never be an NBA championship opportunity in his career. And I don't think that he wants to go out that way. You know, to me, what this does say is, Trill, when you think about it, clearly this means that Beal is not a money guy. In the sense of, I'll just stay here and get all my money and be protected forever. And no matter what happens with my career or not, I'm getting paid. He clearly does want to try to compete on some team.
He's getting his money no matter where he goes. He got the Supermax deal. Now he's going, oh, yeah, now I want to go somewhere. He's not taking a pay cut if he goes somewhere.
He might. If he goes with LeBron, he will. If he goes
with
LeBron.
He's not taking a pay cut. Where he is a money guy. The reason he stayed was because of the money.
No.
Yes.
Because he's diehard for the city.
No, he is not. It's because of the $250 million.
He stayed for the city, though.
Oh, yeah, sure. Now he wants out. What happened to
city? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, he's I was going to say the B word. He's not a bum. He's a very good player, but I just don't see him being a 2. He's not a Jamal Murray.
I agree. He's
not
a 2.
Jamal Murray, you know?
No, he's not. You're right. He's absolutely a 3. He could be one of the best 3s in the league, but he's a 3. He's not a Jamal Murray. He's not a Marcus Smart. He's not an AD. He's not a James Harden. There's no question about it. He's not a Bam. They're absolutely. He's out of that level. You know?
I would say numbers wise, I mean, I think it's very close. He is Tobias Harris. Him and Tobias Harris are the same player, except Tobias Harris plays better defense.
Who do you think?
They both are mid-range shooters, and they can knock down a 3 every once in a while, but they're not that consistent. He only shot this past year 36% from 3. His career 37%. That's not a sharpshooter. I mean, the guy's a mid-range, go try to get his own bucket and kind of get out of his way. Him and Tobias Harris are the same exact player, except Toby plays better defense.
Who do you think right now is a better guy that you would want on your team? Him or Poole? I think it's Beal.
I think it's Beal.
And I say that because I think that they're basically the same player, but Beal is more. Poole.
You have more faith that Beal will make a shot, where Poole, you've seen him just start jacking him up, and you're like, what are we doing?
It's not even that for me. It's attitude, because even though Poole comes with the pedigree of literally being around some of the best NBA talents of all time, specifically in Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, he doesn't have the right attitude. He just doesn't. And I know I was talking about, a couple shows ago, him being on the Suns, and I didn't say that I want that. I just say that I could really see it happening. My team, I'm not saying that I want that. I'm just saying that it could happen. But my point being is that I think that him and Beal are the same guy. But the difference is that Beal actually does. You're right. I'll give it to you. He got the Supermax. He's a money guy. But I don't think that this guy has his head up his ass the way that other guys do who are money guys. Like, okay, here's a great way of putting it.
I'll give you that.
Here's a great way of putting it. And this is a massive better talent than him. But I would want Beal over this guy. Who do you want on your team? Kyrie Irving or Beal? I want Beal. I don't want Kyrie Irving in my locker room.
I know. That's
won't have a locker room anymore.
If he would just, you can't say that. You can't just play basketball. Kyrie is such a great basketball player.
It's not even if he would just play basketball. It's like if he would just realize he isn't always the smartest one in the room. Like, he thinks that he's smarter about how to run a team to win a championship than LeBron James. LeBron James is the greatest of all time basketball player, if not the second greatest of all time basketball player.
Yeah.
Like if Kyrie Irving was in a room with Steph Curry, he would think that his opinion about how to run the game is more important than Steph Curry's. And Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time.
I love how Kyrie all of a sudden is trying to recruit LeBron to the Mavs, or they've been flirting with going for him to go to LA, right? But Kyrie literally said, I want to go somewhere else. Trade me. I do not want to play with LeBron James.
Correct.
I want to prove I'm the guy. And that's why he got shipped to the Celtics. And then he's been bounced around ever since then. And now he wants to go back to daddy.
Yeah.
He wants to go back to the guy that got him a championship now.
Yeah.
And LeBron's like, oh, yeah, we're cool, bro. Like, I just don't. I get time meal stuff and LeBron knows he's a great player.
Yeah.
But I just think, come on, man. Now you guys could have wrote it out in Cleveland together for like 5 years and maybe 1, maybe 2 or 3 championships.
I was going to say at least get 1, if not 2 championships more. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting the way the NBA, we'll have a new segment coming up during this offseason for the NBA. It's going to be keeping up with the NBA. Just
you read to say keeping up with the Kardashians.
Yeah.
I love it. And it is basically, let's be honest.
It
know
is.
what I mean?
It is.
It is.
And the Kardashians are normally hanging out with the NBA players too anyway. So it's a match made in heaven.
Right. Right. Exactly. Well, I mean, hey, do we I have to ask. I know my girlfriend watches that show. I have to ask her what it's on. Maybe we see if we can catch the NBA moments. You know what I mean?
What, on the show?
On the show. Well, because didn't Tristan Thomas, he was with one of them.
Yeah. I don't know, Chloe or something like that.
Chloe, and he's
got a bunch of kids with
and he cheated on her. Like that's
and then awful. Kim was at the games, the Laker games, all but she said she was just there with like Chloe's daughter to support Tristan, but like some of the times the daughter wasn't even there. So like, what are you doing?
Maybe
Kim?
She's in love with LeBron, you think?
She's in love with somebody there.
Hey, listen, this ain't a Bravo podcast, but that's all right. We talk sports on this channel and that alone, ladies and gents. All right, let's get this shit back on the road. Let's close out this Beal segment. Here's what I'll say, man. If I had to guess where he's going right now, I think it's Miami. And I say that because I think that Miami truly does believe they're a lot like Philly, where they're of the mindset of we're 1 player away, we're 1 player away, we're 1 player away.
They just lost in the NBA Finals that we won't talk about on the show.
Right. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But that's what they believe. Just like the Sixers, we're 1 player away, we're 1 player away. If we can get this one more guy, we can do it all. I think that Beal would fit in well there, except, the only thing is he would fit in much better if he was more of a shooter. Jimmy needs to be the guy driving more of the time. If they're both driving, it won't work out, but I heavily see that front office looking to entice him to go to Miami. And I think that Beal would be all over that, because then he would be an automatic contender. I'll also say this. I'll make this point. Miami with Beal is absolutely, in my opinion, not a team that's facing a Game 7 series with Boston. Like, they could beat Boston in 6 games or less. They would actually close out that series instead of leaving it open for Boston to come back. That he is that type of talent where if you had a true number 3, because he would be a guy, unlike the rest of those bench players, that doesn't need Jimmy to score. Beal could do it on his own. Beal could feed Bam. But Jimmy's the only guy right now that feeds Bam.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, where do you think he's going? Give me the call right now.
Portland.
Wow, that would be cool.
Him and Dame, and they got that top draft pick that they'll probably keep. They're not trading that for him. They go those 3 for their big 3 for the next 2 years.
That team could be dangerous too. That team could be better than Dallas.
Yeah, but now would he be another CJ McCollum type? Or would he be better than what CJ was with Dame?
I think he's always been better than CJ. I'd have to look at the stats to back that up, but just on the eye test, I think that he is. I think that he's I think that Beal's prime also has lasted a lot longer than CJ McCollum's. Like, he went down to New Orleans, has been forgotten.
Yeah.
Been forgotten. So, yeah. And Beal really hasn't been. But that's also been because his franchise has been dying, and he's the only one of like, what the real question is, what happens to Beal when he's surrounded by talent that's better than him? Is he forgotten, or does he still stand out?
Yeah.
If he's forgotten, then he sucks. Then he is another CJ McCollum.
Mm. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think it would be a good fit because Portland's kind of in that mode where Beal's kind of debating whether he finally wants out too. Dame is finally debating whether he wants
You really
out.
think so? You really think that
He's
he's just
talked
not gonna
about it a
stick to
little
his
bit
guns?
on on his Instagram and stuff. I don't think he would, but I think
Yeah.
he's kind of in that point where he's just like, if we're gonna go for a full rebuild with that young
Right.
pick, that second pick, he's like, I don't know if I really want to be here for that because his prime is very decreased, if not almost
If
gone.
not almost gone. Right.
Yeah. So he's either retool around me again or I want to go.
Or I'm gone.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. I think it would be a good fit, but we got a couple minutes left on this one here. Let's squeeze in a quick talk. Let's talk
Hit
about
me.
that NBA Finals.
Ugh.
It is what we told you it was going to be, right? Everybody
It
knew.
sucked.
It wasn't. It is what it is. Hey, congratulations, Denver.
When was the last time that an NBA final ended? The last game ended with only a double-digit end. That should tell you it right there. That this was not a triple-digit scoring final game. What a joke. I mean, the NBA now, you're supposed to score 145 points at a minimum. At a minimum.
It's not even that. Like, we talked about it. Like, yeah, it was. We all knew it was going to be better defense. It wasn't as explosive offenses as other teams, which is fine, right? But Denver was just a better team. We all knew it going into it. You thought Miami would be able to give them a fight like they have all the way getting there. But when you look at it, Denver has had the easiest path to get to this finals the whole way.
Absolutely.
But they were a very good team. Oh, but he had to play LeBron. LeBron's in his late 30s now, right? He had the foot injury. He's way past his prime.
The crotch.
But, LeBron's not LeBron anymore.
Right.
We could all tell. All right. They beat KD and D Book. CP3 was out. Kevin Durant came in late in the year. They weren't able to.
They had 2 weeks.
The rest of that team, it is what it is. Like,
right.
They just didn't have to play anybody moving forward, and they're a very good team. Good for them.
Good for them.
I kind of wanted to get your take on the whole Jokic situation. He is the best player in the NBA. I will give you that. I'm not going to fight him and Embiid, whatever. They're both the two best players, if not in the league, right? Top 5 players in the league. Jokic is probably the best. He cemented himself winning that championship, right? Being dominant. But what's up with just the way he's acting? Like, if I was a Denver fan, I would be pissed off the way that he's just like, yeah, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
Like, I get that being somebody's personality and, like, you don't always want to party, rah, whatever.
Right.
But at
like
least
Kawhi, kind of.
Be like, I'm so happy. Like, we finally got there. We've gone through so many things as a team, as a city, and I'm happy that I was able to bring this to Denver. Right. But now I'm ready to go home. Say that first. That 100%. I love the city. I love the franchise. 100%. I love the team. I love my players. Not, Jokic, how do you feel? I just want to go home.
I just want to go home. You're not riding with the team. You're not riding with the city.
When's the you excited for the parade? When's the parade? Friday? 3 days? No. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's horrible. When you really do break that down, it is. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like you got fans spending money to see you. You've got people who are dedicating time out of their day with kids, without kids, who are turning you on, buying your jersey on their back to scream for you. This is major for the city of Denver.
Yeah.
First time in I get what you're saying.
First time for the city of Denver.
If a Ravens player, like if Odell Beckham said that after we win a Super Bowl, I would be like, get him the fuck off my team.
That would be more Lamar because, homegrown guy and Jokic, like, if Lamar says that, right? He's gone through all the ups and downs, and then just like, I'm just ready to go home.
Your franchise guy. Yes.
And I get it. Not every guy's a superstar like that and rah, but give me a little something, man.
Give me a little something.
It's just, it rubs me the wrong way.
Go.
Yeah, I think Jokic rubbed the Zoom the wrong way also there, but yeah, that was your NBA Finals talk. Hey, congratulations to Denver again. we'll be keeping up with the NBA throughout the rest of the year. So make sure you hit that subscribe button to the podcast. 100 subscribers. We're going up from there, and we keep on climbing, baby. But yeah, let's get into the meat and potatoes here. All right, now that that's out of the way, of course we're going to be talking the O's and the Fightins as we move forward. As the Phillies are currently winning 2-0 tonight out in the desert. They're coming back, baby. The Fightins are hot. I've been telling you. We'll be talking about that throughout the year. If you want a little bit more baseball content, go check out my BSB podcast. I've been doing vlogs every time I go to the games, so it's been a lot of fun. Was at Kyle Schwarber's walk-off home run. That was pretty sick. It was a good time. But let's get into a little NFL talk here, Harold. That's what's going to be paying the bills. You know, we were red hot. Make sure you stay tuned, of course, for our betting picks throughout the season. But there's a lot of free agents still out there. I want to get, before we go through the list here, why do you think a lot of these guys have just been kind of hanging? Is it because of they don't want to go through these OTAs and all these other things, or do you think it's just timing, right fit for teams at this point, or is it money?
Well, the first thing to address OTAs, something that I really quickly want to say, no matter how much more players get even more and more powerful in their given sports, OTAs are something that within the NFL, if you're not there, it's a bad look automatically.
Yeah.
If Aaron Rodgers isn't there, it's bad look. If Lamar Jackson's not there, it's bad look. So if you're not
Diggs is not there, it's a bad look. Everybody's freaking out.
Your quarterback has to go and make a statement about it. It puts the team at risk, right? It makes the team have to explain for you while you're not there. And it causes a lot of noise and a lot of distraction. So I don't think that that's it. What I do think is that there are certain guys that their current teams aren't solid on them, and other teams are worried about taking a chance. Two guys, obviously, that stick out are Dhop and Kareem Hunt. Two guys that at their given positions have been top 10 players.
I mean, you got Dalvin Cook out there now, too.
You got Dalvin Cook. You know, now Dalvin, I think, is going to get picked up like that.
Yeah,
like
he's just kind of...
He's just out.
Yeah, he just got released.
The Vikings are doing whatever they're doing.
It is interesting.
It's very interesting.
That's going to be something you got to have to monitor there, honestly, moving forward, because kind of questions we'll talk about a little bit later. But, you know, is Kirk, how much time's Kirk got there? Are they going to draft a young quarterback? Yes. They're going to have to pay Justin Jefferson. They're going to have to pay Hawkins. Like, their defense isn't getting any younger, you know?
He has 2 left on his deal, right? On his big deal? Kirk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't know off the top of my head.
I think he's got 2 left.
Yeah, but it's going to be interesting to see what that team is. That's not really a spicy topic right now if you want to hit on that, but
let's stick with this and then we can always shit on Kirk. He's a good, you know, he's an easy pinata. You know what I mean?
He is an easy pinata. Nice guy though. Nice guy.
Now that's going on a shirt. Who's an easy pinata? Question mark. What I do think is guys like Dhop and guys like Kareem Hunt, again, 2 guys.
I mean, Zeke's still out there.
Yeah, but Zeke, I think, is washed. Zeke is no longer number 1 running back option.
Yeah, well,
but Kareem Hunt is.
What do you think the age difference is between Hunt and Elliott?
Got to be at least 4 years.
Really?
Yeah.
They're both 28.
Jeez. Are you serious?
Yeah, bro.
They're both 28.
Yes.
I thought Zeke was at least 31.
Right? No, he's only 28. It's just Zeke's had so many miles put on him.
Yes.
20 carries a game. That's why.
Yeah, and he's gone the James Harden route. He gets fat, then he gets kind of skinny, fat again, skinny. He's a hefty boy these days, especially since he went Darth Vader helmet. He just keeps packing on the weight. You know what I mean? He's kind of going prop. If you think he could line up with Jason Kelce, they might do that. What if the Eagles go get him and say, line up next to Kelce? You're going in for center. He played it once. He played it once this season. Did not go well, but hey, he wasn't learning from the greatest of all time. All right, we got a person that helps with the podcast, with the merch text, and I gotta put the good old laptop on Do Not Disturb. Let me get through this. What I think it is, what's holding up these guys? What's holding them up is I think there are teams that are just lukewarm to make a move on these guys, right? If I had to make a guess right now, let me start with Kareem Hunt. Right now, if Kareem Hunt could be on any team, I'd want him on the Baltimore Ravens because the Baltimore Ravens need a true number one running back that can't be Dobbins. I don't want to put that type of mile on Dobbins. I don't know if Dobbins can stay healthy, but if Kareem Hunt's the main back carrying the ball and then Dobbins is your two, woo, that's scary, right? I could see Kareem Hunt. I could see the Eagles getting Kareem Hunt for God's sake. That would be amazing. Because you guys just let go of what's his name, right?
Who?
Which one of your running backs just left?
Oh, Miles Sanders.
Yeah, Miles Sanders just left. So I could see him taking Miles Sanders' place, right?
In
Kareem Hunt
Philly?
can really fit on any team. What?
In Philly?
Couldn't you?
No, the Eagles have 4 running backs now. They got Swift, they got Rashard Penny, they
I
got
forgot about Penny.
Kenny
Yeah.
Gainwell, and they got the Giant Slayer, Boston Scott.
All right, so before we go to the main entree, we'll start with the appetizers. What is happening with Kareem Hunt? Where do you see him going? Is he going to is he staying in the AFC? Is he going to the NFC? He would be a guy, in all honesty, that an NFC team could benefit really well from, right? You look at a team like the Seahawks, just to use them for an example, they don't need per se a running back, but they're a team who in this offseason and through the draft has built a lot of talent around Geno. Right. And the more and more that they can add, dude, until the 49ers get a quarterback, I'll go as far to say this. I have Seattle right now winning that division. And I bet for the 49ers to win because I thought they were going to get a quarterback, but they haven't. Seattle's got a lot of talent, dude, a ton of talent. Kareem would fit. I could see Kareem there, but where does Kareem go? Is Kareem going to be a Raider?
Hey, man, I mean, I love that take, but I mean, as much as I hate those crybabies out there out in San Fran, but I mean, that's a tough stretch. I mean, I do agree with you. They've built up a nice squad, and Kareem Hunt definitely would help with the running back from Michigan State that they drafted last year.
Yep.
Kind of be a 1-2 punch. It would be interesting for sure. I mean, maybe a Hunt, if he's taking a smaller deal at this point, a 1-year deal or something. I mean, maybe he goes and replaces Dalvin Cook to go with Madison. Yep. I could see that. I could see
that too.
Maybe he goes back to, if he just stays in Cleveland, if it comes down to it, just takes a 1-year deal there, just because he knows the offense.
He knows the offense.
What he can get. With Nick Chubb in the backfield. Other than that, try to think of a couple different ones. I mean,
which would probably be the best decision for his career, especially because Deshaun now will have his first full season with the I'm just going to go as far to say this: the Browns are not going to be a walk-through team by any means this year. So, and especially if Kareem stays there, because their backbone is that running game. Well, no, excuse me, their backbone is their defense, but then what comes right off of that is their running game.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I can 100%. Does Kareem Hunt go up to New England? They need talent.
That. What?
They need talent. They need guys. And he's talent.
Yeah, I mean, they like Ramondre Stevenson. Yeah, but who's their other running back other than that right now?
Nobody. Honestly, Kareem Hunt might be playing QB if he goes up to the Patriots. Let's be honest.
They do need talent on the offensive side of the ball there. I mean,
they got none.
I mean, what do you think of another big free agent that's been talked a lot about that you kind of wish that it was on your team? But I mean, that would be a huge addition for them up there, and that's Dhop. I mean,
we're gonna go there. Let's end Kareem. We're gonna go there. You're pulling a Harry right now. You're letting the ADHD take over. Let's decide on Kareem right now, though. Okay. If I'm Kareem Hunt, what I should do for my career is I should stay in Cleveland.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I'm going to do what I should do. What's the most viable team to go out and grab him? Honestly,
I mean, if he wants number one touches, maybe, but it would be a little bit of a stretch because they, what's his name, did so well last year. But I mean, maybe Houston. If he goes down there and splits carries a little bit with Dameon Pierce, and because you never know with a young running back like that, I could see that if he doesn't really care about winning, and just kind of showing that he can be a number one guy. I mean, I think Dameon Pierce can be a number one guy, but I mean, he's still young. You'll have to see. But I could see that. I could see
Do the Titans double down and add another running back?
just wishbone it.
Yeah, just wishbone it is right.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
That would be absolutely hilarious. No, I mean, in all honesty, I think that if he's going anywhere, he's probably going to stay in the AFC. I don't think he's going to an NFC team. Honestly, no, you know what? I'll say this. I'm going to go out on a limb here. If Kareem Hunt isn't with the Browns and he's not a Raven, which he's not going to be, he's going to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Because they're trying to still take advantage of that division that has so much quicksand going around it. And they realize that right now, obviously, the main front runner is the Saints not only landing Carr, but they've got obviously Kamara. And on top of that, they just got the dude from the Lions. They got a strong run game. Tampa's coming off of losing Tom. They're having a battle for the QB position. They need to have talent. They know that that division is still winnable. Carolina's added a lot of additional pieces. They look very good right now. I could absolutely see Kareem Hunt being a Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
Yeah, I like Tampa. I think that makes a lot of sense. It's a lot of the same reasons that I was thinking of Houston, but I like Tampa a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. Drum roll. We got to talk about the main guy, dude. D-Hop. I tweeted it out. I'm going to open with my tweet. D-Hop will be a Jacksonville Jaguar by the beginning of this upcoming NFL season. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to go as far to say this. I'm going to go on a tangent. You can totally disagree with me in the comments. Tell me I'm a dumbass. Tell me what I am, what I'm not. When the rings get counted, and Trilly and I are 85, and we're looking back on our NFL career, if he can be surrounded with the right talent, Trevor Lawrence is going to have more Super Bowl rings than Josh Allen will. I believe that fully within my heart. Trevor Lawrence right now has the ability, on his talent alone in college and now being paired with a Super Bowl winning head coach and with having his main dog in the backfield, Trevor Lawrence has the ability to be one of the best quarterbacks who's ever thrown the football. He throws the ball like prime Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't make he doesn't make all the best decisions that prime Aaron Rodgers made, but he throws the ball damn well close to him. He's an insane talent. He's going to be one of the greatest of all time if he can have the right people put around him. And D-Hop is a guy who, yes, is obviously really leaving his prime, but he would be that guy that would give the Jags an opportunity to be the team that I would take this label away from the Ravens. They would become the team that no AFC team wants to play. They would be the team that could cut a team's playoff run short, like the Ravens. They've got the Ravens number. I'll go that far out and say it. The Jags know how to beat the Baltimore Ravens. You get a guy like D-Hop in there, a deep threat for a guy like Lawrence, that arm talent, let alone his IQ at the quarterback position, a Super Bowl winning head coach in Dougie P. They're obviously going to win their division off of that move. I think that's easy. And then on top of that, they become a frightening, scary team. Not a team that's going to win a Super Bowl, not a team that's going to be an AFC championship contender, but a team that, if you're the Bengals, are you a little bit more worried with them having D-Hop if you're playing them in a first round playoff game? Yeah, you probably are. If you're the Chiefs, you might be really good, but they might still get a step ahead of you, maybe go up by 3 points with only a few seconds left. You've usually been able to score, but what if you don't? They could be scary, man, if they get this guy.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be a great move for him.
It would definitely give them a lot of firepower for sure that they've been kind of missing.
Yep.
It would give Dougie P some extra stuff, a new toy to play with.
Big time.
A legit toy to play with. I don't hate that. I mean, are you giving up as a Ravens fan on him coming to the Birds?
I think there's a reason why he hasn't been signed yet. I think that if he was going to be a Raven with how aggressive we have been since right before signing Lamar and afterwards, taking Zay Flowers, signing Odell Beckham Jr., signing Roquan Smith, signing Lamar to that massive deal, I truly believe that if we wanted him in that room, we would go get him.
So I'm going to wide receiver.
I'm gonna trust. Yeah, and I'm gonna trust in my guys. Now I will also say people are gonna hold me accountable. You especially. I've made the point I don't want to put that pressure on Zay Flowers. Oh, time and time again, I'd rather have a veteran. But there's a reason why the Ravens haven't gone and gotten D-Hop. So whether that's Zay Flowers or whether that's just something that they believe about him, there's a reason. There's also a reason why the Jets haven't went and gotten him, dude. They just signed what's his name, that running back from Green Bay. They haven't gone and gotten him. They knew that Aaron wanted Odell Beckham Jr. Why wouldn't you go out and get D-Hop? Like the two teams that were really argued to get this guy haven't gotten him.
Yeah, I mean, I just think there's a lot of mouths to feed in New York there at that point, where you have the young wide receiving core, plus you added Alan Lazard, who Aaron loves. So I just don't see the fit there. At that point, you'd be pushing guys out where you already were when you brought in Lazard anyway. So,
but Aaron always loves more and more weapons. That's his thing. He loves to have more mouths than he can feed.
I don't disagree with that, but yeah, I just think fit wise, I think you're good there at this point for the Jets. Now, yeah, can you never have enough? I'm thinking the same thing with the Eagles, right? Like, do the Eagles need D-Hop? No. Would it be nice to have him? Yeah, it would be great. Having what?
You think so?
What? Having him?
You really would want to put a guy who has been the way that he's been in the past with that good of a lot. I mean, dude, you guys are second best team in the NFL.
I'm not worried about anybody coming into this locker room.
Okay.
Not in the slightest. Jason Kelce's
Kyrie Irving?
Man. What? Yeah,
Kyrie Irving?
Kyrie could make it, and they'd make it work.
Okay.
Kelce, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Jalen Hurts as the leader, AJ Brown, like all these guys. I mean, the offensive line, Lane Johnson, like guys are just it's I was thinking about this the other day, just kind of driving this, take a peek into my head a little bit here, but like the character of human beings that the Eagles have had on this team over the past 5+ years now has been absolutely amazing. I mean, obviously Nick Foles is a great guy, a great character, a great human being, but on the top of it, the guys I just listed, in Lane and Jason Kelce and Brandon Cox and Malcolm Jenkins and Rodney McLeod, Chris Long. I mean, you've had guys on guys on guys on this team that has really built up this culture over the past 5+ years now, where it was a little bit in shambles. You get rid of Chip Kelly, bring in Doug Peterson. It was a struggle off the gate. You win that Super Bowl. Yep. Carson, you're going through quarterbacks left and right. And the reason they've been able to sustain success for a little bit and get back to another Super Bowl is because of those main 4 or 5 guys that have been here for 10+ years now. And it's just sad to see, like, in a year or two that these guys are already gone. Who knows with Kelce? Who knows with Fletcher? I mean, with BG, like those are the guys that have really built this team up. And if you bring in a D-Hop and you're throwing the DeAndre Hopkins and AJ Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert, and they're all teabagging guys in the end zone, that'd be fucking sick. Now they all have to buy in and realize they're not all getting 50+ catches in the year, right? They all might be able to get 1,000 yards, maybe, but not everybody's going to be scoring 10+ touchdowns. They just have to buy into that, and I feel like they could do it, but they don't need it. So that's kind of where I feel like the Jets are kind of in too, where they've built up this young roster, this young core, but they just don't need it.
So let's stick with the Jags then. It sounds like you like my call there. If not them, then who? Because I do have one other team in mind.
I mean, I think New England. Obviously, it's been a lot of talk there. He was down in Nashville. I don't see that as a fit. Why would you trade away AJ Brown to bring in a guy who's a year older or 2 years older? What is D-Hop, 28, 29?
And not as good.
Yeah, I mean, AJ's only 25. Like, so why would you get rid of a guy like that to bring in a guy 3 years older, been hurt, caught for PEDs?
Yep.
It just makes no sense. But outside of that, I could see nah, that wouldn't make any sense. I thought Seattle for a second, but I mean, if you got rid of Lockett and just go and go DK and
that'd be crazy.
That
would be crazy.
That'd be nuts. That'd be fun.
Yeah. I got two other teams in mind.
What do you think?
So you're going to be like, well, Harry, now you're just pulling names out of a hat, but I'm not listening to my argument because again, they're in a lot of a very similar position as the Jags, not as much, but they're close. It's another AFC South team, dude. It's the Colts.
Yeah.
Colts are another one player away from being a team. Again, not a Super Bowl contender, not an AFC championship contender. I'm not saying that, but they're a team that's a one player away from taking teams that are of the caliber and taking them out of the playoff run and being a team that no one wants to play. They went, we called it on live. Who do they go get? They go get my man out of Florida, 4th overall pick for the quarterback position. They got one of the best running backs in the league. You go and get a guy like Dhop, be crazy. Now, my third pick of a team that would honestly, that needs him, probably as much as the Jags, a team that now needs to prove himself with a head coach who, after this season, if he doesn't deliver, is probably going to be on the hot seat. Let's see if you can guess it with me. It's the LA Chargers. They need to add as many weapons as they can for that kid. Because if that head coach does not deliver this year, he's gone. They're in that new stadium. They need to sell tickets. They need to be a real deal team. They know they have a top 10 talent right now as a quarterback. You can't waste that, dude. You can't waste that.
Especially with the wide receivers they have. They're those Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. They're very good, but they just can't stay healthy.
They can't stay healthy.
Can't. Now, can D-Hop stay healthy? That's another great question. I don't know. You throw them in the mix with that. I don't know. I like that because you definitely need to give him. To wrap this up here, I'll kind of leave it at this, but wild card team that I just was thinking of. Team that got their young QB now, new head coach. They got a decent young defense. They got a running back they just signed. They need a wide receiver. They need a veteran wide receiver. They go and they get Adam Thielen to get in that room. And then they bring in DeAndre Hopkins to help out Bryce Young in Carolina. That would make them a contender in that South.
That division would become a watchable division with a move like that. Like that, like those would be fun games to watch at that point. With the Saints battling with Carolina with this young core who's gone out and basically taken the whole Bear squad and got them to come to Carolina. And then the first overall pick. I mean, dude, I like that a lot. Okay, so you know what? We'll say this. Top two teams. Jags number 1, Carolina's number 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't see it happening, but I think it would make a lot of sense if they went and did it.
I think so too.
It would make them a competitive football team this year.
Absolutely, especially in the NFC. Oh my God.
Yeah.
In the NFC, they would be they'd be at least a top 7 team in the NFC with that if Bryce Young can deliver over the top. They can
compete for the division and possibly that last wild card spot.
Absolutely, they could. Okay, I'll go out on a limb and say this. They could be as good as what Detroit could be.
Everybody's hyping Detroit up. As what Detroit was last year.
Better call. Better call.
Yeah, they could be that first.
That's teamwork, ladies and gentlemen. You see, it's called finishing each other's sentences. Sentences.
I don't know. What do we want to finish up with? You got anything else?
I don't know, man. I mean,
well, what's up with your boy Marcus Peters?
Dude, I don't even know if I want to get into that. I mean, we were kind of talking about it during the season last year, right? Like the question has been, was he still going to be a Raven? Were we going to let him go? Him and Harbaugh were having those arguments on the side, right on the sideline. I did genuinely believe that he would be a Raven this coming year. He is. I think he's a guy who's you're seeing a guy who's passionate about football, who's a great competitor, who's real deal at his position. Doesn't fuck around when he comes to game time. And, he's seeing that the Ravens have got to be able to keep points off the board. And his position starts with that a lot of times. And they didn't do that much this season. They let a lot of points happen. And I think that's gotten to him. And I think a lot of people have been like, listen, do we need to move off of him? And I think that he's a guy that lets that type of chatter get to him. As, let's be honest, who wouldn't it? You got to be one of the toughest SOBs in the world to not let all of that constant chatter not get to you, right? Baltimore local radio is constantly talking about moving off Peters. They have been since during last season. What do I think's happening with him? I think he's going to play out the season, but I think this is going to be his last one as a Raven. then
Yeah.
I think he'll probably go 2 more and retire.
Yeah, he's gonna turn into that better talent wise, but I mean not better. I was thinking of somebody else, but like kind of where Darrell Revis was kind of bouncing around at the end of his career. You know, Richard Sherman kind of bouncing around.
Richard Sherman, great.
Like
Yes.
that guy that's got a lot of talent, maybe a little getting old in the legs. He's only 30, but you know, cornerbacks, especially with the way the wide receivers are getting faster and faster, it can be tough. And the way the guy can go out and ball out like a Richard Sherman was, very physical, very in your face. Yeah, he's probably got a couple years. I think he can be a very good player for teams. So we'll see. All right, dude, let's call it.
Let's call it. We
Thanks,
love you
everybody out
guys.
there. Yes, thank you guys. 100. We're getting to that 100,000 next. All right, coming up.
100.
Stay tuned. Check out Philly Drinkers. We got some stuff possibly in the works with the boy Charlie, getting some shirts printed for COC, Cold One Conversations. Go check out BSP Podcast too for a little bit more Philly talk. But thanks everybody out there for listening. Shout out to 215. Go Birds, baby. I think Harry froze anyway.
I did.
You did.
You did.
Froze. You froze.
You